There are two main aspects of creating a melody that we are looking at in this beginner series. Last time we explored pitch and how we can utilize different pitches and, more importantly, intervals to create catchy melodies. Today we're looking at the second key aspect of creating a melody: rhythm.
Rhythm makes us nod our head or tap our foot when listening to a song we enjoy. Sometimes this rhythm is familiar and this familiarity helps us sing and dance along. Other times it is surprising and makes us intrigued about what's to come. And we usually want both to create a complete song which hooks the listener.
Remember the one-note melodies we looked at previously? The main reason they are so catchy, despite only staying on one pitch, is, you guessed it, the rhythm. But how exactly do we utilize rhythm when writing top-line melodies? Let's dive in. There are many ways to play with rhythm while creating a melody, but here we will highlight a few main points which you can take away to practice on your own as soon as this video is over.
It is quite tempting to make a top line verbose and complicated. However, just how a top line can contain a small number of pitch steps, or even none, we can keep the rhythm fairly simple at times.
More importantly, we can play with silence, meaning the space between the phrases, which generally keeps the energy low.
Watch me dripping that 흘러내려 slay 태도 대충 거칠고 내가 거는 city 꽤 넓은 octagon.
Another easy way to consider the energy of our top line is the number of syllables. You may have already picked this up intuitively, but a top line with less syllables would generally feel lower in energy than a similar melodic line with more syllables.
Goddamn sure my energy's just too precious to waste. And I wanna know me, wanna know me, wanna know all about me, wanna know about me, but you can't have me cause I left him alone.
We've mentioned this one many times before, but we can't miss it again. Question-answer patterns are very common in songwriting, and this includes toplining. It usually looks something like this, and it essentially means having two very distinct parts of the top line. Question-answer patterns can simply be about how the melodies are constructed, but they can also differ a lot and are sometimes used to showcase multiple members or create a vocal production.
Let's go! 1, 2, 3, 4 하면 rhythm and 들어란 말을 시끄럽지 우리 막아 모든 그런 now it's time for the party. 아슬하게 도는 시계바늘 내 손끝에 걸린 채 turn it back now 거꾸로 걸어 펼쳐진 deja vu I'm living in 월화수목금토일 미모가 쉬지를 않네 머리부터 발끝까지는 부셔 빛이 나네 어쩌기 언니 아들 내 패션을 따라하네 아름다운 여자의 하루는 다 아름답네 시시해 또 끝나지 않고는 뭐해 힘을 내고 말하는 것도 지겹잖니 I don't mind 얼룩 주는 red carpet 그렇게 또 fade away.
But what about the bigger picture?
We are diving much deeper into the topic of arrangement next time, but today let's look at how to simply introduce contrast from one section to another.
Perhaps the most important thing to consider here is the length of melodic phrases. A melody could barely take up a bar, or it could span across half a verse. These would introduce different moods and energies.
We can of course use all of the approaches we spoke about in the previous section and combine them for interesting results. we can have a section with a fast-paced top line and then follow it with one containing long notes and more space.
I don't wanna fall, don't wanna play this game of love. Oh, there's nowhere to hide. I really like it. Nothing in the world can make me feel the way you do the things you do.
We can have a verse with a complicated rhythmic line and then follow it with a much simpler call and response section.
기세가 다른 move, but I don't wanna groove. But you keep wasting your time, dude. Don't chase me, I'm going down. Erase me, 멀리 달아나.
And of course, we can combine these approaches.
네 마음과 다른 말을 맡은 Hey you keep for tonight. 손도 나를 더 바라고 있잖아 솔직히 이제 그만. 포기해 넌 내 안에 갇힌 걸.
All of these introduce contrast and keep things interesting.
There is a classical music approach that has been used by composers of various eras, which can be particularly useful to introduce here. In fact, there is one example that K-pop fans can recognize rather fast now.
Blackpink in your area. Yeah.
Anacrusis is a set of one or more notes which precedes the first downbeat of a section. We could, and in fact do, use anacrusis in top-line melodies as well. Many chorus top lines start not on the downbeat of the chorus instrumental, but shortly before that.
Cause I like you.
너라는 I 너만의 루틴 끝을 변함.
Welcome to the puppet show. Where we playing with the plastic dolls.
너에게 바칠게 my life 날 정말 삼킨 듯 좋아.
But choruses are far from the only section that does this. We hear it across verses, pre-choruses, bridges, all the time. Remember how last time we said starting the melody on a different note each section keeps things interesting? It is the same with rhythm. Starting a section on the downbeat, then starting the next a bit after the downbeat and the one after slightly before the downbeat can keep things moving and not bore the listener.
You're the one song memory 널 찾는 내 사포는 scream.
When you're looking at me, I'm looking at you. 그 다음 순간 난 대답해봤지 내 아닌 갈릴레오. 사랑이란 you know what 같이 정의해볼까 어때? 너무나도 예쁜 거 이 감정은 뭘까? Look at my heart, look at my heart, my heart. Da-da-da-da-da. Come on Galileo, Leo. Da-da-da-da-da.
Today, we explored how to use rhythm for toplining. We looked at various ways to rhythmically construct a melody, such as utilizing space, number of syllables, and question-answer. We also looked at how those can be used across sections to introduce contrast. Finally, we explained what an anacrusis is and how to use it in our top lines.
As we mentioned earlier, next time we're pulling all of this together and exploring song arrangement. Subscribe so that you don't miss it, like this video, and let us know in the comments what other production and songwriting topics you would like us to cover in the future. And if you want to work with us, get in touch, link is in the description below.